Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Ticket to Life. This is Henry, and thank you for tuning in. Well, it is June, and I'm hoping that my regular listeners have heard the past. Um, well, not so much last week's was on swingers, but I hope you heard it and I hope you enjoyed it. But I hope you have heard my announcement that I will be doing Ticket to Life only every other week. I would try to have more, but right now our lives are pretty chaotic, a good chaotic. We just came back from Cancun, and I will be doing a podcast a few weeks or a month or so whenever I can make the time on Cancun. Oh my gosh. Just absolutely wonderful time. But I do want to wish everyone a wonderful summer. I want to say happy birthday to my brother, who his birthday's already passed. But since this is being a delayed podcast, and a happy birthday to my older sister. So one of my older sisters, but because we are come from a family of 4 kids, and we are very close. And I just want to wish them happy birthday, and happy birthday to anyone who has a June birthday, who is a Gemini or a Cancer. But I just wanted to really cover something that is very, very important for summer, and that is swimming. A lot of people don't swim. A lot of people don't care for the water, and that's fine. But I do believe that at one point we should all try to learn how to swim. I don't care if it's doggy paddle. I don't care if it's swim underwater, come up for a deep breath, float on your back. This is a literally life-saving skill. And it's very important because we do get caught up in family fun. And if you're around a pool or a lake, even a pond, and you have small ones, it is critical that they learn how to swim, learn how to save themselves. And I will be sharing a story, a very sad story later. And I don't mean to be Debbie Downer, but it's so important to learn how to swim, even adults. And people who are scared of the water say, well, that's why I don't swim, because I'm scared of the water. It is very important. You know, you hear about these people that during a flood, and they get trapped in their cars. They didn't leave their car because they didn't know how to swim. So not to say that would actually have saved them, but it could have helped. They could have climbed out of their car. I don't know. There's just so many aspects to how important it is to learn to swim. So I don't know how many of you have heard of ISR. And ISR is Infant Swimming Resource. It is a life-saving skill for babies and honestly for adults too. But children, my oldest granddaughter, who just turned 4, she started her swimming lessons at the age of 12 months. So 1 year old. Now, at 1 year old, we're not even talking. You may be, babies are saying dada or baba or, Ita, but couldn't say Ita. She would call me Tata. But anyway, my daughter started her at the age of 12 months. So at 1 year old, at the age of 1, she started her in swimming lessons in this ISR. Now, my second granddaughter, who is 19 months, I believe right now, 19, I think so, she started at 6 months old. Now, at 6 months old, most babies are sitting and, not even crawling, actually. Some are not. 6 months old. My 2 granddaughters are, and you take this class every year. This year, because my oldest granddaughter is 4, she will review the life-saving skill of if she falls in, she knows to float on her back. and kick and stuff. But I think she's going to learn more this year now, a few, like how to swim. I mean, some strokes, not the butterfly stroke or anything like that, but, doggy paddle. I don't know. But anyway, and that is another thing that adults can do. It's a little bit more work, but doggy paddle. And it's, I just want people to not be afraid of water in case they get in that situation. That is what causes them to panic. So, I have many friends who have small children. I know I may have mentioned in past podcasts that a lot of our friends are younger than we are. And, but we do have, lots of friends who are grandparents, and they do have pools like us. We have a pool. So we are very cautious. We had a small gate put in. So when, the girls are here, we close that gated area. It's like I don't know how big it is. I'm lousy at measurements, but a little gated area case. But of course, the bad thing is we need to remember we're comfortable with them being outside, but we have to be there. But we also have a doggy door for Arthur, our pup. So my fear is that the youngest would go through the doggy door. But we need to remember to close that gate. She never has attempted that, but it's up to us to be that responsible person and do that. Responsible grandparents. But if you have a pool, please take precautionary measures. I have a bell on because we have a regular door, and then we also have a screen door. Those old-fashioned ones. I wanted one of those, so I had my husband put one of those, and we have a screen door. But on that screen door, we have a bell on it, and we have also an alarm set. But the alarm would go off every time you open the door. So that alarm, we need to just set it. We just forget, and shame on us on that. But yes, we are confident if they fell in that they would be able to swim. But like if we have friends over and their kids don't know how to swim. Now, I will tell you this ISR, infant swimming resource, it is very expensive. But again, it is a life-saving skill that could save your child if they fell into a lake, someone's pool, a pond. And you say, a pond, yes. Babies can drown in 3 feet of water. Well, actually, they can drown in less than 3 feet. 2 inches, a bathtub. That's why you always, if there's water involved and there's a baby, an infant, a toddler, you have got to be there watching. This is so important. It doesn't matter. It's just such an important skill that I believe children and adults should know. So I read that nationally, this is one of the utmost important survival skills for infants and young children in these lessons. The safest provider to learn this, and the average is 3 to 4 weeks. Now, parents are like, I don't have that much time. The lessons are only 10 minutes, or at least the ones that my daughters are going to, my granddaughters are going to. They're 10 minutes. Why? Because they can't register. You think about it, the brain isn't fully developed until the age of 25. Well, if my granddaughters' minds, their brains are still developing, and that memory is growing. But to learn to swim at that age, 18 months and at 4, but they started so much younger, especially the oldest. It's just such a great skill, and I highly recommend it. And say you can't afford it, start saving now. Start saving, because it is something that could literally save your child's life. Also, the Red Cross offers swimming lessons. I don't know if they do the ISR, but you could look into that, and that may be more affordable for some families. So look into that. That's how my kids went. They went with the Red Cross to learn to swim. And your teens need to learn. Every age. It's so important. At one point, I'm sure we get older, I shall say, as we get older, we feel like it's not a necessity. But if it's not, then you really need to just stay away from the water, because that to me is a very sad, sad thing. So here's my story. My story is about a little girl. And she was about to be 2. And they were having a little party at someone's house for her. And all the members of the family were there, grandparents, parents, cousins. And they're all outside. No, they weren't drinking. They weren't high on drugs. They were just a typical, wonderful family. It was just a family gathering to celebrate the weekend and celebrate her. Then one of the cousins, that was three or four, looked in the pool and said, "Why is Heidi at the bottom of the pool?" And no, the names have been changed to protect the innocent. So apparently, I was not there, but what happened was the family went into action. They dove into the pool to get Heidi. And they went into action. Just what you would do, that natural thing. So they pulled Heidi out and started CPR, called 911, and the paramedics came. And they rushed her to the hospital. Then Care Flight, that's what we have here in Texas or in our area. It's the helicopters that come and take people to a other hospital. They took her to the hospital, and the hospital recommended take her to the children's hospital. So loving and giving that they wanted her to live. I know her heart belongs to another child, and I believe kidneys. I'm not sure about the kidneys. So Heidi lives. That's not an irresponsible parent. Accidents happen. But people say, I'm always watching. In a blink of an eye, a tragedy like this can happen. These were good people. They are good people. So please, 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 I cannot emphasize how important this is to teach your children to swim, at least to save themselves. Teach them to swim to the edge and start screaming their lungs out. If you have a pool, be responsible. Like me, we are taking more precautionary measures. We are trying our best to make sure nothing happens. But in a blink of an eye, that can happen. So this is Henry. Go find your blessings. Love your kids. Love your family. And until next week, find your blessings, because they're everywhere.